Hey guys, Rath here with the DFS Minute for the evening edition tonight, May 6th, Wednesday, May 6th, 2015. Welcome to rotocurve.com, the DFS Minute. It looks like all the lineups are in except for one. Looks like we got a couple of weather situations, so let's bang it out. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Oakland, Minnesota. Weather situations there, but all reports are it looks like these games are going to get in with a slight delay. I'm proceeding as if these games are going off. I'm usually very conservative when it comes to rain and weather, but everything that I've read and seen looks like these games are good to go. So hopefully we don't get burned, but I think we'll be okay. And I really like Garrett Cole tonight. He's my number one guy. I talked about him this morning, and I'm on him. Whether it's tournaments, whether it's 50-50s, heads-ups, Garrett Cole's the guy for me. Benny and Josh talked about it on the Curve show earlier today. One of the things that I look for, and we're going to be talking about in the future, is a measurement called standard deviation. What standard deviation does is it looks at the numbers, and so basically you look at all of Cole's performances last year, including this year, and they're all within a very tight window. So he always goes out there and produces good games. He never really has a bad game. He doesn't have a monster game. And what that means is he's perfect for our heads-ups and 50-50s. He's just a rock-solid guy. He's at home, going against Cincinnati, who does struggle against right-handed pitching. The only guy that I'm really worried about tonight is Joey Votto, and I think if he can get around Votto, he can hammer some of these other guys. So I really like Garrett Cole tonight. Very high recommendation on Garrett Cole. As I did recommend him early this morning, and I'm still on him. Lance Lynn is the other guy that I recommended this morning, and I'm still on him with lineups coming out. Again, the standard deviation comes into play here. Cole and Lynn are pretty much like 1 and 2 when it comes to standard deviation, which means that they are the most consistent pitchers in daily fantasy baseball. They give you consistent points night in, night out, every time they go out. So that's what you're looking for. You want safety, low risk in your starting pitchers, in your 50-50s and heads up. So Cole and Lynn for me is the pair. And I did talk about Casimir this morning. I'm still on Casimir for tournaments. I still think he's in play. And the one guy that I'm zoned in on is Ubaldo Jimenez as far as the value play of the night. I gave you Jesse Chavez last night. The other night, and I'm all over Ubaldo. You know, Ubaldo is a hit or miss kind of guy, boom or bust, but he's been pretty good this year. His ground ball rate's elite, and I think he's in a really nice spot here in a ballpark where, you know, he's been keeping the ball in the park. There's not a lot of bats on that side of the Mets right now that I'm really scared of. I think if he can avoid Duda, that would be the one guy that can do some damage. But I think that Ubaldo's in a really good spot, and I think for the price, you're getting great value in a good floor with a potential ceiling. So Ubaldo's a guy for me that I'm really going to be rolling out in tournaments. And again, my fingers are crossed, but I do like the way things are set up for him. And until he shows me some of these blow-up starts consecutively back-to-back, I think you got to roll with him, especially at a price that he's at right now. Let's go value plays. I've got 4 cheap plays and then 4 in the next tier, and these are mostly geared towards DraftKings. I'm going to give you some bonus plays on Fantasy Aces as well. So grab the pen and paper and let's go. Some of these names you're going to recognize that I've rattled off earlier in the week or last week. So again, until salaries change, these guys are still in play. Ryan Rayburn hitting 4th, $3,000 on DraftKings, going against Danny Duffy. I've got to roll him out there. Danny Duffy's weighted on base percentage allowed against right-handed bats, 344, and we know Rayburn crushes lefties. So I think it's a tough spot for the Indians tonight. They don't have a lot of right-handed bats in the lineup, but you got to think that Rayburn here at the price tag of $3K is just somebody you got to get in there. The other guy I'm looking at in the outfield position at $3K is Chris Coghlan. And I think what I'm probably going to do is mix and match. I'll probably go Rayburn and heads up in 50-50s and Coghlan in tournaments, because I think Coghlan's a little bit more risky in terms of he's going against Lance Lynn. And I'm playing Lance Lynn in my 50-50s and my heads up. So I don't want to put Coghlan against Lynn. That's one of the things you never want to do. Never have a hitter going against one of your starting pitchers. So in the tournaments, I'm not going to have Lynn, so I'll play Coghlan there with a little bit more upside, hitting second. Lynn is susceptible to lefties, and you got to like Coghlan hitting second with Rizzo hitting in back of him. Third base shortstop, Marwin Gonzalez, talked about him earlier this week. Again, 3K, hitting second now, gets the bump in the lineup from 6th to 2nd, which is huge. against Colby Lewis, weighted on base allowed against left-handed hitters, 353. At league average is usually around 300, 310. So we get a guy that's 20% above league average, weighted on base. So got to go with Gonzalez in the spot. Got to love him at shortstop right now because I don't see a ton out there value-wise. So he's my value guy for the night. And then we're going back to the well again. Billy Burns, burn me once, burn me twice. You know what? He's been good the last 2 nights. Now he gets to bump down to second because Coco Crisp is back. So, which actually might help him. Hitting second, maybe with a runner on, and then running behind, doing some hit and runs, things like that. At 2.7K, going against Kyle Gibson. The thing I like about Burns tonight, hitting from the left side, is he's going to have an opportunity to steal bases because the right-hander can't keep the runners on like a lefty can. So you got to like Burns going against a lefty. Kyle Gibson's not a very good pitcher. And in that ballpark, I think, they're going to want to try to manufacture some runs tonight. So I think Burns could be in a situation where he could do well again. So definitely like Burns. It wouldn't shock me if I'm running Rayburn and Burns in lineups. It's all about the burn. Rath burn, Rayburn, Billy Burns. It's going to be a burn night tonight. Hopefully it's not the burn unit. Hopefully we don't burn our cash. Hopefully we can definitely light up the scoreboard. All right, 3 to 4K on DraftKings. Devin Travis. You don't need me to tell you. You know what? I don't know what happened here. 3.4K salary. Somebody boo-booed. Somebody didn't hit the switch because he should not be 3.4K hitting lead off against CC Sabathia tonight. So, look, man, Devin Travis, probably not a guy I'm going to he's going to be owned like ridiculously high. So just be aware you're going to see Devin Travis in a lot of lineups. So I'm not telling you something that no one else is on. He's probably the guy that everybody's on. So second base, Devin Travis, almost a must play. Kelly Johnson's a guy that was on my list last night and just missed the cut. Of course, he went out and he hit a home run. He had a monster game, whatever it was. Put up big numbers last night. I got to roll with him here again. Look, at third base and outfield, so plenty of outfield value. But I think at third base, you're getting a guy hitting fourth now, gets the bump in the lineup from 6th to 4th against Jerome Williams. Jerome Williams isn't a very good pitcher. I like this spot here for Kelly Johnson at third base as a value play on DraftKings. And then another guy we can plug in at third or second, Luis Valbuena gets the bump to third in the lineup against Colby Lewis. Colby Lewis has a very high weighted on base against left-handers, so love Valbuena in the spot. And you got to think the Astros are going to maybe explode tonight. They've been kept down in the scoreboard the last couple nights, so I think that the Astros are probably primed to put up some big runs. And then our boy Scooter Gennett gets back in the lineup tonight, hitting second against Joe Whelan, 3.7. There's some value out there at second. You can play Valbuena out there. We can get a little bit of value on Gennett. A lot of people are going to be on Scooter tonight because everybody knows that he crushes right-handed pitching, and he's hitting second. The thing I'm a little bit worried about, though, is the Milwaukee lineup is still struggling. But Joe Whelan doesn't scare anybody, so I think he can roll with Gennett out there. Probably what I'll do is throw Gennett out there in some lineups where I'm not going to play Travis just to get some exposure in case Travis has an 0 for 4 type night, and then we'll get Gennett in there in a couple lineups, maybe in a couple tournaments just to be against the curve, like we say here, a roto curve. And then over on Fantasy Aces is going to give you a bonus tonight, 5 value plays on Aces. Now, some of these are overlap from DraftKings, but anytime you can get value plays under 4.5K on Aces, you got to look at them. Kevin Pillar is 3.7, hit 6 against CC, the lefty. Kelly Johnson, 4.5. Ryan Rayburn, 4.3. Colby Rasmus, 4.5. And Scooter Gennett at 4.3. I think these are all guys that are in play on Aces tonight. A bonus for you tonight on Aces. Go ahead and grab some value over there. Try to qualify for their big Friday night live event qualifier. All right, guys, going to wrap it up, put it out, and wish everybody the best of luck tonight. And also, I always say here, stay classy, DFS.